So of course there are times when you want to put yourself in a good mood, you want to lift your spirits, raise your vibration through your fragrance. However, you also want to wear something that's not going to be offensive to the people around you. So in today's list, I've compiled 10 fragrances that not only are feel-good fragrances, they put you in a good mood, but they also pull really big compliments. I'm excited to share this list with you today, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin this list of my 10 feel-good fragrances that also pull huge compliments, I tell you what they are, the experiences that I've had with them, so on and so forth. I do want to start things off by mentioning that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Of course, make sure to hit the bell so that you're stayed notified on new uploads, future content, but also give this video a thumbs up if you take something of value from today's episode. Now, here's the thing with me. Whenever I think of fragrances that make me feel good, raise my vibration, put me in a positive mindset and a good attitude, I typically think of warm, ambery, even incense fragrances, because you think of a note like incense, it's very grounding and spiritual and meditative, but let's be honest, I never get complimented on my incense-based fragrances. It's always the very bright, jubilant, citrusy, oceanic types of fragrances that I get complimented on. But there's something about these fragrances here, either because they contain jasmine or citrus or whatever, that always gets me compliments. And of course, my biggest control group are my colleagues at work. So I will wear these to work, and I do get pretty good feedback from my colleagues, and these are ones that particularly worked very well. Now, before I dive into the video and I reveal the 10, I do want to start things off by mentioning that if you're interested in purchasing or even sampling any of these fragrances, you may do so at scentsplit.com. All of the links are going to be down below. Really good prices. You can get small decants so that you can try the fragrances before committing to a full-size bottle. Fast shipping, great customer service, very reliable, and I've been working with them for a long time. I've been using their services for many, many years now. So let's just go ahead and jump into the list. And the first one that I want to talk to you about is one that I directly worked on, but there's something about the citrus that's in here, the sort of grapefruit mango combination with a touch of leather and smoke in the dry down, some resins, that really puts me in a tranquil mood. And this one composed by perfumer Jorge Lee, who has also done fragrances for Nichane, Unique Luxury, Algabra, so on and so forth. This one by Navitus Parfums is called Primas. Now, Primas is an awakening, it's a fresh beginning, a fresh start, if you will. I love this fragrance, super professional and executive smelling as well. And of course, we have another kind of spicy yet fresh rose-based fragrance. I personally get a lot of rose from this one. This one by the brand Micallef is called Eden Falls. Eden Falls is an awesome floral fragrance, and rose can be very romantic, but it comes across very tranquil in this fragrance. Now, of course, the next one is a very popular fragrance, probably not the most popular from the brand because, well, I'm talking about Creed. Of course, we have Green Irish Tweed and Aventus and Millésime Imperial Virgin Island Water. This one is actually Erolfa. There's something about the melon and the combination of citrus in here that always puts me in a sort of tranquil, serene mood. And this one is a huge compliment getter. Like, I've worn this to work many a time, and whenever I do wear it, somebody says, "Oh, you smell good," right? Of course, with that being said, I also get a lot of compliments from Aventus, but Aventus is more nostalgic for me. This is more tranquil, serene, feel-good fragrance where the citrus is very natural smelling, very vibrant, always lifts my spirits. Speaking of citrus, we also have Celebration by Royal Crown. So this is a beautiful fragrance composed by Antonio Visconti, and this is a brand based out of Italy, as you couldn't already tell by the colors on the crown here. And this smells like a mojito. It's very bright, it's minty, you have all the citrus you can imagine in here, and it has this touch of sweetness, like a natural sweetness in the base. Could be a little vanilla, could be coming from just the overly ripe quality of the citrus fruits. It's a beautiful fragrance, very expensive too. So that's why I would suggest that you sample this one, and of course you can do that at ScentSplit. The next fragrance is another citrus-based fragrance. This one gets me a lot of compliments, more so than the other counterpart from this brand, which is called Celle d'Argent. This one is called Citrus Riviera by BDK Parfums. Again, very citrusy, but also very herbal and aromatic at the same time. So I think it's that combination that puts me in a peaceful mindset, but it's also very clean, very well groomed, very professional smelling. So whenever I do wear this one to work, I always get positive comments from those around me. Now, the next fragrance in this list is one that I truly love. I've had this for so many years now, and like a fine wine, it just gets better with age. This one by Amouage is called Reflection for Men. Now, this one has jasmine in here. There's also neroli, so I think it's that clean white floral component that really puts me in that calm mindset, but the citrus also makes me feel very bright, feel good type of a personality. And this one can be a little bit on the spicy side as well. So I personally love Reflection for Men by Amouage. And then there's also another powerhouse in the niche side of things, and this one by the very well-known, very famous brand Rouge à Parfum is called Elysium. Now, of course, with Elysium, you have a little bit of everything in here. You have some lavender, you have some woods, you have a ton of citrus. It's very classy, very professional smelling, very luxurious and very high-end as well. And there are a lot of other Rouge à Parfum fragrances that I think give off that clean, feel-good vibe. Of course, there's Oceania, there's Oligarch. So a lot of amazing fragrances from this brand, but Elysium is probably my top compliment getter, especially considering the ones from the brand that I've worn to work. The next fragrance on this list also happens to be one of the most versatile creations from this brand, that brand of course being Parfums de Marly. When it comes to their olfactive offerings, of course Sedley is one that always puts me in a really good mood, and I've gotten compliments from it as well. However, there is one offering from the brand, not Leighton, that's also gotten me a lot of compliments, and of course that fragrance is Percival. Now, Percival, bright, citrusy, minty, you have this tranquil lavender note that's in there, and from an aromatherapy vantage point, lavender is an ingredient that is said to bring about a state of tranquility. So just some things to keep in mind there. That's why you might have seen lavender featured in a couple different fragrances from this list. Coming in the number 2 spot, this fragrance is absolutely amazing, a fragrance that you have to try from this brand. There are 4 or 5 from this brand that I would recommend very strongly, and this one is 100% in the top 3. Now, this one has Indian jasmine, it has Chinese jasmine sambac, it has vanilla resting in the base. It's a beautifully done fragrance with a bit of citrus in the opening as well. This one by Memo Paris is called Flam. Now, it's spelled F-L-A-M. From what I saw online, it's pronounced Flam, and it's a beautiful fragrance. I also love Corfu, which is a nice blend of grapefruit and rhubarb, and of course the leathers are really nice as well. However, I do get the most compliments from Flam and Corfu. However, this one is probably the more feel-good fragrance of the two, despite the fact I really love Corfu, and it really all depends on how I feel on a given day. But that jasmine that's in here is so tranquil and meditative. Truly love it. Now, one fragrance that I've been wearing a lot over the past few months, and it's a beautifully done fragrance, actually evocative of another designer fragrance that I have in my collection. But this one, I wore this to work like 4 times in a row, and every single day of those 4 times, a different colleague came up to me and said, "What the heck are you wearing?" And I think one of the biggest reasons why that occurred is because this brand and the sister company to this brand create fragrances that perform so well. The concentration is very strong, and these brands have the reputation of manufacturing fragrances that last 10 plus hours, 12 plus hours. Like, these truly are beast mode fragrances. And this one, despite the name, because there's one ingredient in the name that would leave some people a little bit hesitant or might create a little trepidation, but you have nothing to worry about. It's very smooth, very elegant. You have the citrus, you have this bright aromatic profile about it, a little bit of mint as well. Many of you probably already know what I'm talking about because this fragrance is super popular, and of course by Mancera. It's called Oud Lemon Mint. This is amazing. I remember smelling it on this one guy, also in the industry. His name is Michael. Back a few years ago when I went to California, and it was just booming off his skin, and I was like, oh my goodness, what is that? And it smelled amazing. Like, you could inhale it and you smell the different unique texture in the composition. And then when I finally, bought this one for myself, I said, this is incredible. So this is oud, but a very smooth oud, just gives it a very nice woodsy appeal. It's not of the barnyard variety. And that lemon mint combination is absolutely amazing. Always puts me in a good mood. Just like Sicily, just like Jardin Exclusive, there's a lot of Mancera fragrances that really put me in a good mood. Holidays being another one. But there's something about this one. I guess it's that bright, vibrant and vivid citrus that always leaves me feeling good. And it also kind of reminds me a little bit of L'Homme Ideal by Guerlain, which is like one of my favorite designer fragrances. So that helps a lot as well. So it is personal in a sense, but there's no denying the fact that when I have worn this to work, I've gotten complimented on it nearly every single time I wore it. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me today. These are 10 feel-good fragrances that always raise my mood, elevate my mood, leave me feeling better, but they also pull some crazy compliments. You will have good success with any one of these fragrances. They're all great in my opinion. If you enjoyed this video, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Of course, hit the bell, give it a thumbs up, and also check out ScentSplit. Links are going to be down below if you are interested in sampling any of these fragrances for a really, really good price. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.